Hello everyone, Kuzampola. Hope you are safe and doing well. I'm Medicinal from the registration division of TRA. Today I will try to explain to you on the compilation part of the dossier as per our new guideline, since there were few applicants who informed that they couldn't understand it properly. And through this video I hope to make it easier for you to understand the know-how for compiling the dossiers. For your information, the new guideline was based on the ASEAN CTD, known as Common Technical Document Format, and the main objective for having the common technical document is to harmonize the requirement of document within the region. Moreover, we stressed on the reliance and recognition system, whereby we made it easier for registration through expedited or average registration route if that product is already approved by other country. Also, there are new concepts that you should know, such as new drug application and generic drug application in the new guide, which would be explained in the later slides. Since the presentation is mainly for the dossier compilation, other areas are not explained here. However, you can always refer the guideline. So let's begin. Topics that would be covered in this presentation are as following. Number 1, types of application. Number 2, different ways or routes of registration. Number 3, eligibility condition. Number 4, documents required. Number 5, we have fixed dose combination, and lastly we have renewal. First and foremost, please try to know the type of application of your product. There are two types of applications, namely NDA and GDA. NDA stands for new drug application and GDA stands for generic drug application. So let's see what are they. Number 1, your product would be considered as new drug application if it is not registered or authorized by any country. For example, this includes a drug which has not been approved in any country, including the country of origin. Number 2, your product would be considered as generic drug application if it has been approved or registered by at least one NRA. Here, the NRA stands for National Regulatory Authority, which is like DRA of that country. Now, as per your type of application, there are different routes or ways of registration. If your application type is NDA, there is only one route, that is full route of registration, and it would require all the 4 parts as outlined in the guideline. Next, if your application type is GDA, there are 3 routes, and they are full registration route, average registration route, and expedited registration route. The full registration route under GDA requires only 2 parts, unlike NDA, and generally the GDA requires less document compared to the NDA. So now you might be wondering about the criteria for different routes of registration. So let's see the eligibility criteria for registering under different routes. If your product is NDA type, there is no alternatives and you have to choose the full registration route, since complete profile and data has to be evaluated. Also, maximum document is required under this route. Under generic drug application, your product becomes eligible for full registration route if at least one country had approved or registered it, or that product has been registered by DRA as NDA for a minimum of 4 years. Secondly, your product becomes eligible for average registration route if it has been approved by WHO, UN, OIE, other UN recognized organizations, or if it has been approved by one of the PICS member countries. For your information, there are 53 members in the PICS. You can also find it by typing PICS member countries in your web browser. Thirdly, your product becomes eligible for expedited registration route if it fulfills any of the 3 criteria. Number 1, the product has been registered by any 2 countries. Number 2, the manufacturing company of the product has a very good rated GMP report from DRA or NRA of other countries. Or under criteria 3, there are 3 sub-criteria that are required. Firstly, minimum of 5 products should be registered from that company for a minimum of 2 years with active registration status. Secondly, there should not be any past record of product recall from that company in our country. However, voluntary recall would not count. Thirdly, if you wish to register parenteral products such as injectables, at least one of them should be registered amongst the 5 valid products. Please bear in mind that any 3 criteria mentioned earlier can be fulfilled for your product to be eligible under this route. Also note that the criteria 2 and 3 are company qualification for ER, whereas criteria 1 is product specific qualification for ER. So now let me explain the documents required under each route. Full registration under NDA requires 4 parts, and they are administrative and product profile, quality, non-clinical and clinical. Full registration under GDA requires 2 parts, and they are administrative and product profile, quality profile. Average registration under GDA requires the following: evidence to support average registration, letter of authorization, declaration letter, specimen of package label and insert, product sample, and price structure. Expedited registration under GDA requires the following: evidence of registration in at least 2 other MRS where applicable, letter of authorization, COA of drug product, method of analysis of drug product for non-pharmacopoeial product, specimen of package label and insert, product sample, and finally price structure. Now we come to fixed dose combinations. In this guideline, the fixed dose combinations are of 4 types, namely 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the document requirement differs from one to another. Basically, the FDCs are categorized based on the approval of the combination. The Annexure 2 of the guideline has the detailed requirements for various types of FDCs. For the renewal of registration, the document requirement has been made minimal compared to earlier guideline, and irrespective of the types or routes of registration, the document requirement is same. And the document requirements are as following: number 1, declaration letter, a copy of initial registration certificate, specimen of package label insert, and product sample. Finally, I would recommend the applicants to at least go through the following topics which can be found in our guideline. For your information, the submission format for dossier remains same, that is paper format for full registration and average, and electronic format, that is CD format for expedited registration route. For details, please refer the e-guideline copy which is available on our website, or collect the hard copy from our division. Thank you and Karinche.